to another Demarcation Media Iron Man review? Model kit review? I don't know. These aren't like... These are the weird like mega like Iron Man figures. They're not mega, but they look close. They are technically model kits, so I guess this is a model kit review. But this is Wave 2. Omazard 7388 told me in one of the comments that marks 8 through 14 had showed up on the Chinese site Taobao. And so I immediately went and searched Aliexpress and found they have indeed made a Wave 2. Now the brand of this is Fanjoy, or also sometimes XJ Block. So it's a little confusing. The box does not really say that unless it's in the Chinese that I can't read. But yeah, that's the name. I will have links in the description and the pinned comment if you want to pick up a set for yourself. So thank you to Omazard for letting me know that these were out. And let's take a look at this box. So this box is honestly pretty darn close to the first wave. It's the same gold and black. We get to see all the Iron Mans here. On the top, we get to see all of them standing there. It says Iron Man, Infinity Saga, Marvel Classic Hero Series. And this is a display box, so essentially this is made to be put on a store shelf. Obviously, you will never see them in the US, but I imagine you could probably find these in stores in China. So pretty nice looking box. I love the shininess to it. All of these Chinese model kits seem to be really good at getting the collectible premium aspect, at least of the packaging, down pretty much pat. So I've always been impressed with that so far. Both this and also like Blockies. Blockies does very similar things, like the metallic look. So I think that's really cool. I do think though that choosing a different color would have differentiated this series a bit more, because unless you're paying attention to the Iron Mans, you might not realize that you have Wave 1 or Wave 2. Alright, so let's get this open. That comes off. Oh, I guess that doesn't really do much. And then what's supposed to happen here is, okay, yeah, that front panel comes off. This top bit is supposed to like pop out. Will it do that? Alright, I think I got it. That's supposed to go up like this, and then this needs to fit in back here. Voila, that's what it would look like if you found this in a store. Now these little boxes also look great. They're very collectible looking. They tend to have a little bit of jank in the renders. Sometimes, like this Iron Man, he's got a like weird holding hand. He does not actually come with that. Same for this guy. He does not actually have a hand that points downward like this. So that's a little weird. So I'm going to get all of these open and built. I did a poll to see if you guys wanted a stream of this, and it seems like most of you just wanted a review. So we're going to do a review. And also that frees me up to do more of the Blocky streams, which I really enjoy. So we will come back as soon as these are all put together. And there we go. Everybody's all put together. If you want to see what it looks like building one of these, you can go and watch a little short that I made. I'll put the card up in the corner. A little stop motion. Putting one together, you can see what all the pieces look like going together if you're not familiar with how these guys are built. Now there's a lot to talk about, guys. Some good, some bad, and some weird. So let's just go ahead and start talking about it. So you get kind of a lot of extras with these guys. So each Iron Man comes with like 4 of these fire pieces. And then you have 2 of these fist kind of pieces. These are kind of a soft plastic so they can bend a little bit. You also get all kinds of different hands. So you have like open shooting hands. There's fist hands. There's 2 types of open hands. There's shooting ones and flying ones. There's fist. You get a lot of pieces. And then you get some extra joints as well. So yeah, this is all just from this wave. You also get the collectible cards. Unlike the last wave, these are just all one back, but they still look pretty cool. I have no idea what they say other than, you know, the few bits of English, and I still have no idea why it says Tony Stark Crack on it. And each suit has a power level as well, so that's kind of interesting. And then, of course, every single Iron Man comes with a stand with this little flight arm. There are variants, at least of Wave 1, where you can get a little display case that fits over top. I didn't bother buying that because I didn't necessarily want the display case, but that is a thing that's out there. Articulation-wise, they have
all pretty much the same. So you get a waist swivel, you get a ball joint neck. The shoulders are hinges much like Mega, and the shoulder armor can move out of the way. Elbow bend. The hips are the most limiting part. This is my big complaint with all of these. I really wish they would come up with some way to either let the leg armor move or just find a way to allow more free movement here, because you can't get them even to sit down, and there are some poses where I'd really like to get them into a sitting position. So I don't know. If the designers ever see this, please put more there. But knee bend, pretty darn good, pretty solid. I don't feel like I can really expect much more than that. And then, of course, the feet, they're just there. They don't really do much, though you can balance them kind of like that. So this is the Mark 8, and there's quite a few new pieces, new chest, new legs, lots of print going on. The rubber kind of under body has some gold print around the neck. The printing on the chest is really, really nice. So sharp in terms of the molding. The helmet's done pretty darn well. That faceplate is printed a bit off-center. Pretty much all of them have this issue where one side will like stop here and the other side will go a little farther. It's just kind of part of the way these figures are. It just tends to happen. Around the back, some more nice print there. Looks really solid. Not a ton different right off the bat than the first wave ones, but there's definitely some new parts, and it does look really nice. The Mark 9 looks even less different than the Wave 1 figures. This guy has a lot more of an off-centered print on his faceplate, which is unfortunate. Chest looks very similar to the previous ones. The main difference is the legs and the print there. That looks really nice. But yeah, just at first glance, this dude pretty much looks the same as like Mark 7. Now the Mark 10 is pretty interesting. It's got new legs entirely. It's kind of these more Anthem suit looking legs, not just normal Iron Man legs. And then the chest is different too. This is a chest piece that I imagine we'll see reused on the, I think the suit's called Hammerhead, the scuba suit, because it's the scuba suit chest plate, and it's really nicely molded. It's got some like little vents there, some bolts and screws on there. He's also got new forearms. You can see there's like a rail on it and more kind of mechanical detailing. The new legs have just as good of a bend, which is nice. The upper legs, again, just bump a lot. Head is the same as what we've seen. This one's printed up pretty well. Again, the gold goes farther on one side than on the other. But yeah, that chest and the legs really make this guy stand out and kind of be different than the first wave Iron Man figures, which is, I think, important here. To be fair, they are going off of Iron Man designs from the film, so there was a lot of very similar looking Iron Man suits. But yeah, this one in particular stands out a lot more to me. The Mark 11 gets me excited for Wave 3. Hopefully they do a Wave 3, because Wave 3 should include Heartbreaker, which is my favorite Iron Man armor. And this is what I would imagine Heartbreaker's head to look like, or at least close. So those printing lines, very nice. I think those are really solid, and if they do that good for Heartbreaker, I think I'll be pretty happy. Upper arms are all gold. We have, once again, those new lower arms. Print on the lower legs. That looks pretty nice. No real print around the back, but still. Overall, solid looking figure. Again, the chest is very similar to what we've seen before, especially on like the Mark 7, but it's still different enough. That head really makes this one stand out more. The upper legs are a different armor piece than what we've seen so far. I believe this is the same as what we saw in like the 9, and that does allow slightly more movement than other ones, but not much still. I still want more. Now here's where things really start to get interesting. This is the Mark 12. It's got the same chest plate as some of the other ones and the same leg piece, but the head has some print on it. The waist piece is gold. The whole thing is like in a gray. The upper arms are more angular. This is much, much more different than the other ones we've seen so far. The lower legs are very chunky, very sneaky looking. Sneaky is a suit I'm assuming we'll see farther down the line, but yeah, Sneaky's legs are much like this. Interestingly enough, we have some nice indent molded detail on the one side and nothing but smooth plastic on the other. Don't really understand that. That's part of the inconsistencies that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But yeah, I don't really get that. The silver has a nice finish. The gray is kind of a matte color, and the gold is very metallic. So I think that's really cool. This one is for sure going to stand out when you put them alongside all the other ones, because this gray, gold, and silver is just a really slick color scheme. and I'm really glad to see them do this sort of thing. I wasn't sure if they were going to venture into the other color Iron Mans, but they're proving that they're going to do it, and they're going to do it pretty well. The Mark 13 has many of the same parts as what we've already seen, but that is a new chest plate. The arc reactor is not as like indented as previous ones, but it is printed up pretty nicely. The head is done pretty well. Again, a little bit of lopsidedness, but not too bad. And he shares a lot of the same parts with the other suits that we've already seen. There's not a ton of print over the whole thing. The chest plate and the head have the most print, and then the rest of it is just kind of molded detail. But that gray is nice, and it makes the detail pop pretty well, so I'm okay with that. And the last one, the Mark 14, is probably my favorite from the whole lineup. This is the one that I did the stop motion short with, and he has quite a bit going on. The lower legs have a bunch of stuff. Those are new lower legs. The thigh pieces are different. It gives much more movement there. I like that a lot. I want them to continue doing this. I think they could work their way to having much more articulation than this. But yeah, lots of the molded detail. The chest plate is nothing new. Neither are the arms. Well, the lower arms are new, but we see that on other Iron Man suits. But the head is the real thing that's new here. This is an entirely new mold for the head, which I'm really happy to see. I'm hoping they use this head mold for Heartbreaker because Heartbreaker has this kind of head. And also, I'm hoping they use it for Jack whenever they make Jack. Please, please, guys, make Jack. But yeah, that head is a great mold. I do think some print in the eyes would have gone a long way, but I can always take a Gundam panel liner pen and just shadow those eyes in a little bit more to make them pop. But yeah, that matte gray with that new head, oh yes, it's very nice. Now I want to talk about the weird things with this wave, the good stuff and the bad stuff. So starting with the good stuff, the biggest good thing that I noticed was the sculpts have gotten a lot cleaner. Look at this. You can see the paintwork is much sharper on this guy. This one's a little bit soft. Keep in mind, these are different chest molds entirely. They basically revamped it, so it's a lot sharper. The detail work, you can see the edges are a lot sharper and harder. It just looks cleaner. You can see on the leg, look at the detail on the two legs, much better detail. On the spine, the detail is much sharper. The soft edges aren't there as much. Yeah, they improved it a lot. They like made a whole new batch of molds or something because that's significantly improved. They seem to be learning from the way that they were doing the last ones. So yeah, I appreciate that a lot. I noticed that it popped out to me quite a bit. Again, the paint even is a little bit brighter. So yeah, you can expect higher, sharper detail from these new figures. However, what you cannot expect is accuracy to the box art. So this and this is the same figure. Yeah. So firstly, the legs and stuff are fine. I think the molding detail on the box and the actual figure is fine. But the chest on the box shows no print whatsoever. It also shows it being like very lots of facets. Like I guess their rendering model couldn't quite do it. There's also like extra lines here where it's just not the same at all. And then also you can see the shoulder pieces here. This is the shoulder pieces from the first wave still, whereas this whole wave was supposed to come with a new set of shoulders. Even the instructions show it, but none of them have that new set of shoulders. The Mark 9 was one of the ones that was particularly disappointing to me because we can see here, that's silver. It's very clearly silver. It shows that there's silver printing there, and there is no silver at all. And again, those shoulders, we were supposed to have entirely different shoulders, and there is no new shoulders. None of the figures have new shoulders. For this dude, he's fairly close to accurate. The legs here show just silver print on the front of a little bit of silver print on the front, but in fact we have all silver print. And then again, those shoulders, I was really looking forward to seeing those new shoulders, but no. Also, notice here, gold print on the sections here and here. No gold print at all on here. Completely missing. Why? I don't know. Also, the head looks strangely like narrow on the box. And then for this one, you can see the gold print is not quite the same. In fact, That chest doesn't even appear to be the same at all, or maybe it does, they just rendered it weird. But also, there's supposed to be little gold print on the waist, or I guess the ab piece. No gold print on the ab. And it shows gold on the hands. Now, I was really looking forward to that. I was like, wow, they're doing gold on the hands. No, they're not doing gold on the hands at all. That just doesn't happen. Also, he's in a pose you clearly cannot get into because this does not bend. The leg print, though, is pretty much the same. Again, shoulders that are not there. You can see the ab bit a bit more. So yeah, that's disappointing. What else we got? This is this guy right here. No, it's not. It's this guy. The 10. The 10 is all wrong. He doesn't have the right legs. The chest looks wrong. That's not at all the same. No, not at all the same. Yeah, that's pretty weird. This is a case where I'm glad that this one's wrong because it's far more accurate the way that they actually made it. But yeah, that's just weird. Again, those shoulders, really, really would have liked to see those shoulders. This guy, it's pretty close. I don't really see too much that's off here. I think this one's probably the most accurate to the box so far. Again, minus those shoulders. And then, where's the 14? There's the 14's box, and here's the 14. You can see on the box, no print on the thigh right here, but we clearly have print on the thigh here, so that's weird. It also looks like we have some silver print on the the arms here. No print on the arms at all. The face, I don't think we're supposed to have print on the chin, or at least according to the box, but we do have that, which I'm happy for. But there is like silver print in the little side bits here. We didn't get that at all. So yeah, just very weird, just lots of like inconsistencies. And I just don't think the box art can be trusted, to be honest, because they just clearly don't match up. In some cases, they're even doing poses that you just cannot do. So yeah, please keep that in mind. The boxes are not going to accurately reflect the toy inside. Another issue I ran into with most of these is the leg bits here would not fit onto the pegs. So you kind of have to like stick it on there. It won't stick at first. You have to really cram it. Now, all of these should be fixed now. But yeah, you have to squeeze it and then you have to pull it off. And you're going to see there will be spots on the peg that are being crushed down. You have to take an X-Acto knife and kind of shave that down until the little peg is the right size to actually accept this leg armor. So keep that in mind. That's a problem that's pretty widespread through this wave, where the pegs just are slightly too big to accept that leg armor, and you do have to do a little fiddling to actually get it to fit together. There's a couple more things that I realized as I was fiddling with these that I don't like. First of all, you can spontaneously end up with loose hips. They can just out of the blue very quickly be loose. I don't know, it's random. The other wave did that too, so that's a bit of a problem. And then this guy in particular, let's see if we can actually get this to show up. On the edges here, it's hard. Basically, the edges, the corners of the bits here, the paint is like rubbed. And I don't know if it was just not sprayed well or if it rubbed off. But either way, it was a little like, huh. And I'm mostly just worried that it will rub more there. I don't really care that it's there because you can barely see it. But my concern is perhaps it would rub more. But yeah, those are just two extra little things that I didn't notice during my first take of filming. Well, there you have it. That is Wave 2. Well, not officially, I guess. It's just kind of more Iron Mans. But yeah, unofficially Wave 2 of the XJ Block / Fonjoy Iron Man mini model kits. Is this wave better than the first one? In some aspects, yes, there's a lot more new pieces, a lot more varied pieces. The printing is sharper. The mold detail is sharper. I think the only thing they really didn't update are the shoulder pieces and the head, the normal Iron Man head mold. That still seems a little soft around the edges. But the Mark 14's head is very sharp lines, very crisp details. So I'm hoping that they update the normal Iron Man head here soon as well. I am pretty happy with this overall. The detail work is good. Again, I'm just pretty disappointed that those new shoulders just were not a thing. They just didn't put those new shoulders into production. I highly doubt they ever will, to be honest. I don't know that this is going to be one of the cases of like, oh, you just got one of the first waves, the later ones will have it. I don't think so. I think they just skipped out on that for some reason. So that's disappointing to me. Maybe Wave 3 will have it. Which, speaking of Wave 3, I am very excited for Wave 3 because Wave 3 has a lot of really good figures if they make it. Because they're doing it from, so the first one was Mark 1 to 7. This one's Mark 8 to 14. The next one will be 15 on. So Heartbreaker should be in there. I think Sneaky should be in there. There's a handful of the other named suits. None of these ones here really have names. So yeah, named suits, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to a tiny little Heartbreaker. Please, XJ Block or Fonjoy or whatever your name is, do not mess up Heartbreaker. So, should you buy this? I don't know. If you enjoyed Wave 1, if you thought they were cool, yeah, go ahead and buy it. I mean, I think too, repainting, weathering, touching up, like there's a lot of stuff you could do just to mess with these. Like they're pretty darn cheap. You could easily buy a couple of the same ones and paint them different colors. I don't know. There's just stuff you can do. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with them. I'm going to be paying attention and waiting for Wave 3. So any of you guys find out about Wave 3, please let me know. And yeah, are you guys going to be picking this one up? Do you like this better than Wave 1? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. And I'll see you next time.